What's going on, everybody? It's JTP here, and if you watched my last video, you know we recently just won our store championship, and we secured it with Yellow Vegeta, my OG leader. Played it when it first came out, and when I first started actually playing the game. So it's kind of fun to be back on the deck. But nonetheless, we won the store championship. We went 4-0. Our matchups were round 1 we had Blue Diamond Vegeta, round 2 was Cell. Round 3 we had another Blue Diamond, and then round 4 was the mirror match, which was the last video that I just put out. So if you haven't watched that, go check it out. But if you don't know the leader, just basic on the front side, and when you flip him over, end of the turn, restand 2 energy. So he mostly just plays with lots of extra cards and gets really defensive. So we're just gonna move straight to the deck. We did secure our cereal and our Vegito. The cereal is a pretty cool number, 1432, so it's got a pretty cool number there. I kind of like it, and then so that's our second one, and then we secured the Vegeta, and we also got our invite to nationals. So I'll definitely see some of you guys out there. But we're gonna move right on to the list, starting off with the pretty obvious 4 of your super combos. I got the Chiles because they're gorgeous. Why would you not have them? And we decided to go with 8 cantrips with this build. We were kind of going between 6, 7, and 8 with a couple of builds. Kind of just settled with 8, or with 8. So it worked out pretty good. 7 was where I was at for the most part, but 8 is where I finally ended up with. Don't really need to explain the cantrips too much, but this is a pretty obvious one as well. The 4, the 1-cost freezes, rest any battle card, 10k combo power. Don't really need to explain that one as well. This one's pretty much a staple in Yellow Vegeta. I see some people running it at 3, which I think is wild, but the Bulma allows you to grab all your extras. The only extra you can't really grab back is Final Explosion, but other than that, it grabs back every single extra that you use in this deck. So I always run this at 4. I don't see a reason to run it at 3. Moving on to like our main attackers and stuff like that, we have 4 of the 3-cost Janimbas. Probably like the best generic yellow SR in this deck, honestly, and for the way I like to play it, this is almost up. I want to see this turn 3. And there's another card that is actually the last card I'm going to show, because it's a card I don't think too many people see or too many people play. But if I can play that card turn 2, this turn 3, and then awaken on this, and usually have my opponent, 7, 8, maybe 6 life, we're usually chilling pretty good. So that's our 3 costs. We do have a 2 cost, but we're going to show it at the end. Starting with our 4 costs, we have the obvious 4 cost SCR barrier Frieza. I ran it at 4 for a little bit, but 3 is fine. You can run it at 4 if you really think you want to see it, but there's not really many matchups you don't want to see it. Maybe androids, because with androids you just want to be stupid aggressive and like play these back to back like that's really like the only way you can kind of beat them is just cantrips and Janimbas, and then as well as the other card I'm going to show. But I mean, if you can get this down, it's fine, but it's kind of slow. I almost prefer to just keep charging these and just awaken as quick as possible. Our other 4 costs, another staple, don't really need to explain it too much, but when attacking and on play, freeze a card, 10k combo, 25k. Goku's is just a must. I don't really see a reason to run it less than 4 in most decks, but except for maybe Boo. Next card, we have 2 of the 5-cost Vegetas. I kind of want to find room for 3, but with the deck, it's fine with just 2. But it's a great card. I love this card. I think it's exactly what Yellow needed in general. Was just something to like clear 4 costs, and it's a double attacker, so you can swing at 2 different bodies. You can really clear a board with this card. 30k attack. It's phenomenal. And our 6 costs, we have 2 of the 6 cost freezes. I don't really see a reason to run this at 3. I tried it at 1. There's a couple times I didn't see it enough, or when I needed it. So I think 2 is like the perfect number. I don't really see any deck that needs to run this card more than 3. I don't think at any point we ever will. So 2 is like the perfect number there. Starting with the extras, we'll start with the non-combo extras. We have 3 of the energy absorptions. I was running it at 2, but There's a lot of times I just didn't see it, and it was very frustrating. So having it at 3, I feel like definitely more consistent. You could have run it at 4, but it's just another dead card. And to be quite honest, the deck only runs 8 10Ks. So obviously we have a lot of combo powers, but you really don't want to have too many dead cards that are not combo powers. So I run it at 3. And the other non-combo extra is the Final Explosion. I've always kind of run this at 3. For a while I ran it at 2, but it's definitely needed at 3. You want to see it in a lot of games, especially into like black. In the black, I feel like if you don't see it, you kind of just get fumbled. And there's a lot of times where you'll end up just playing this over this because they've just built up a board of like a couple of 3 costs, maybe a Glorio, and you just have to clear that board. And if you're at 4 energy, you might just rest it and pop, clear board. So you definitely want to run this at 3. I feel like you just some matchups you just need to see it. So starting with our first combo extra, Blue Power Awakening. I kind of knew this card was just going to be a staple in this meta. As soon as I saw cards like Vegeta and the Broly deck in general, just pops any 6 cost or higher, so you can't really clear anything lower than a 6 cost. But specifically in Yellow Vegeta, unlike other decks, like it's the fact that we restand 2, it has so much more value, and it's never really a dead card because we always restand 2 energy. Other yellow decks, you kind of need to run this card as well, but you have to work to keep those 2 active if you want to use it for the combo. So for the most part, it's always just to clear like 6 cost and Broly's and stuff like that. So other decks, you might want to run it maybe at 3 if you really need to see it, but with this deck, especially because we have the Bulmas, we can just grab it back. A lot of other yellow decks don't run it. You only really need to run it at 2. The next card, you can probably run it at 3, Hellrock Sasha. I run it at 2 right now. I think there's only like 1, maybe 2 Broly's at my locals, but this has a lot of other value in other matchups, but it's specifically into Broly. It's really good. And the fact that you can grab it back and play it up to maybe six times if it sticks, maybe a 7th time, but you're never gonna use it that much. So 2 is pretty good. Maybe in the Broly you might want a hard mulligan, depending on what your first hand is. If your first hand is just too good, probably don't need to worry too much about it. You draw enough to where you'll see it. So, but in the Broly and stuff like that, you definitely want to see it. The obvious best extra that I don't really need to explain too much. I think kind of all know what it does. Results of training. It's the yellow Gallic gun. Instant 4 of 15k, draw a card if I have a rested card, and that's where the barrier freeze is just huge because I'll swing with it every single turn, especially if once I'm awakened. It's always going to allow this card to be active. It almost never dies. So like I said, this card's just always ready to go. It's usually ready to go by the time turn 3 you play out your Janemba. If you're awakened, you restand your 2, and on that first swing, and especially into some decks, if they're swinging 31st, you can just use it right away. The next extra is the one that I replaced Hell's Rock Sasha for, and it's the Dazzling Onslaught. It's only a 1 of. It came up in my last matchup for like my final, the final swing where he dumped, and I just used I believe a BPA and the Dazzling Onslaught. I don't think it's necessarily specifically for any matchup, but it's a really good 25k that this deck can just utilize really well, to where sometimes you only restand 2 and maybe someone decides to swing 40 first because they want to get that 2 out of your hand. You playing this, because they're probably going to just swing a little bit aggressive next after the first swing, you get to restand 1 and then play another results for the remainder of the turn. It's just really nice. So I ran it at 1. And the last card, I run it at 3, and it's one card I don't see anybody really playing, but I think it's just really good. I don't think it has any specific matchups, but it's really helped up in the androids and into the boom tanks matchup. It's the Jace. It also helps a little bit in the Broly. Like any matchup where they really want to awaken fast, like Namaku, Boo, androids. Or androids doesn't necessarily want to awaken fast, but if I can be aggressive and lay it on like 2 of these, or like just this, save it, play it on 1 of these, and just get really aggressive. The deck has no other 2 costs, so you're really just playing cantrips for 2 turns and then your Janemba. So I felt like sticking in a a solid 2 cost was just a really good idea. And this card is like a card I've been waiting for a while. It's a reprint of Khalifa, but for yellow, obviously. And just crit, I think I tested it out for a little while, and it felt better than running really any other Self-Awakener. Sometimes I have run this deck with the 3 cost Vegeta. I think is also another alternative. You could run basically the same exact deck, but just throw in the 3 cost Vegeta, especially if you think you're going to see a few more Broly's, because it definitely I don't think the deck needs it to beat Broly, but it almost just made that matchup like unlosable. But like I said, I don't think you necessarily need it. But you could also essentially take out the Jace if you just want maybe, you know, 1 or 2 more extras and run your 4th one of those. Maybe it's a good idea. But other than that, I think this is just kind of the perfect list. I've tested it a lot. Tested it with Buhan, tested it with yellow, the 3 cost Vegeta, and this is just kind of where I ended up in. It secured me my invite. It won me the store championship, so I can't complain too much about it. And we'll be taking it to our other store championship. So hopefully I didn't give away the sauce too much, but I'm pretty sure I'm not changing up the list. I might tweak some shit just to be, you know, a little bit funny, but why not? But other than that, this is the list. I hope it can kind of help some of you guys out. And if you like the video, and we'll definitely try to get a few more deck views out of here with future decks, and mostly just yellow, but you know, that's just kind of what this channel's about. So appreciate all the support, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks.